Hi, I'm Eshkalar. I don't know what day it is because I don't really care. But yeah, I will tell you something important. I'll tell you that science tells you that they know it all. We understand the universe. We understand how elements are created. We understand how they combine. We understand how they interact with one another. We understand how they work at the microatomic and subatomic levels. We know all this. Oh yeah, except for dark matter and dark energy. You have no fucking clue. So, so we know everything about the universe, the 25% that we can see. We don't know about 75% of the universe. So science really has a lot of holes in it, even though it presents itself to you as an unbroken, seamless entity, saying that we understand. You can trust us to tell you the truth. Except for dark matter and dark energy. And that brings up a story. This is my favorite story in all of biology. Ready? We're going to delve deep into a topic today called paleobiology. That's right, old-timey origin. So, as far as we know, the largest ape that ever lived was called Gigantopithecus Blackii. I don't think they called themselves that at the bar, but we call them that now because we don't know what they call themselves at the bar. So, they probably called themselves another beer. I would. So anyway, this Gigantopithecus Blackii is estimated by some scientists who have a penchant for hyperbole. Look it up, it's a word. To be so big that if it stood up and stretched like that, it'd be 11 feet tall. That's pretty big. If I stretch like this, I get about 7.5 feet. 11 feet. Son of a gun, that's a big thing. So they estimated 1,000 kilograms, right? 2,200 pounds. Something in the nature of 1,800 to 2,000 pounds, maybe. A big adult. Probably they were sexually dimorphic. The males are bigger than the females. We don't really know that. In some societies, the females is bigger than the males. Yeah. Look up the mudmen. So anyway, Gigantopithecus Blackii was the biggest ape that ever lived. Unfortunately, we don't know much about it because we only know of it from fragmentary remains. And when I say fragmentary, I'm not kidding. We have like 1,000 teeth and like this much of a jawbone in pieces. And that's what we know about Gigantopithecus Blackii. It doesn't seem like much. If you went out to the dumpster behind a dentist's office and you tried to understand humans from what you found in back there, what would you know? Yeah. You'd be able to assemble some things because you know what monkeys look like and you see where there's some similarities, right? But it wouldn't be easy to tell a lot about humans. You wouldn't know that we're the hairless ape. You wouldn't know that we're the skinny ape with the hairless ape, with the stuff that humans do, right? We tool use, we problem solve in different ways. We alter our environment to suit our needs rather than letting the environment dictate our survival. So let's look at this Gigantopithecus Blackii and understand why you only have fragmentary remains, most of which are like thousands of teeth. Why would you just find teeth? I mean, it's a giant ape. It's got arm bones twice the length of mine and probably 3 times as thick. Because arboreal would probably pull itself up in a tree with one arm. You try that. Yeah, me too. That's why I do this all the time. So, this gigantic ape only leaves very fragmentary remains behind. Whereas you'll find some bones from other animals, and certainly extant animals, we find their bones sometimes. But we wonder why the Gigantopithecus Blackii bones are so lacking in the fossil record. Well, part of it is how recent they are, because they were living on the Earth until perhaps 8,000 years ago, maybe even sooner. So, many of them would be too new to fossilize. So we're looking back in the past for older ones that did fossilize, And fossification is not an easy process. The fact that science presents itself to us as we know everything about the universe, except this 75% that we don't know, and that they say that we know all about the fossil record. We can tell you about evolution because we understand how this animal evolved into that animal and this animal evolved into that, and it's all this unbroken stream. We all understand it, and you kids can believe in everything we say. But it's not like that at all. The fossil record in places, we'll say the largest ape that ever lived, is well known from a bunch of teeth laying in a cave somewhere. A bunch of teeth laying in another cave, another cave, another cave, another cave. They find collections of teeth in these caves. And they wonder, excuse my expression, WTF? What are they doing? Where are the arm bones? Where are the leg bones? Where are the foot bones? Right? Where's the pubic bone? I want to see one. But we never find them. And guess what the culprit is? Porcupines. That's right. You're a friendly little porcupine out there that if you pet him carefully, won't even stab you. And he likes being petted. He's friendly if he likes you. That porcupine out there, he'll sit beside you like a dog. He'll like cheerfully gnaw away at whatever you give him because it keeps his teeth sharp. And he's a rodent. And rodents like to gnaw. So here's something that porcupines do that I didn't know. I never followed one around. I mean, I'm never that high. Honest. So, honest. No, honest. So, no, really, honest. I've been close. So anyway, porcupines are known to drag bones, even large ones, into their lairs. And they gnaw them. And it serves two purposes. One is it keeps their incisors sharp. Their rodent teeth, right? And the other is it provides them with valuable minerals that they lack from their all-vegetable diet. Mammals are particularly well suited to being carnivores. There's a lot to unpack about that. I'm not going to go into it here. But you'll notice the herbivorous mammals have some pretty extensive adaptations to be able to do it. And even herbivorous mammals will, some of them, eat a little bit of meat from time to time. It's pretty interesting. Horses have been known to eat meat. Hippos, chimpanzees, bonobos, the most cheerful little ape ever. Nicest ape, crawl up and just make love to your face. Bonobos love you. They're so nice. And they'll kill a smaller ape and they'll cut them up and they'll give them to their buddies. I have a little nom here. Yeah, it used to be an ape that made all that noise in the morning. He ain't gonna do that anymore. So, getting back to the porcupine, though, they're a pure vegetarian. However, because they lack calcium and some other major minerals in their diet, what are they, a C3 browser or something? I forget. But that's science. It's fads. Science changes. It's not like wizardry where we really know the universe. We understand what's going on. We can ask. I can summon up a homunculus and say, hey, what is going on with this? And he'll say, science isn't telling you the truth. And then you created life in a test tube and science gets mad. We was going to do that, they tell you. They come to your door with the pitchforks and the torch. That's old news. But anyway, so Gigantopithecus Blackii, the largest ape that ever lived, leaves us with almost no remains except for the crowns of its teeth, which are covered with enamel, which is too hard for a porcupine to gnaw away, like they gnawed away all the other bones. So when a porcupine finds a skeleton, it starts hauling them bones off to its lair and it eats them, like a mouse chews on something, like a rat chews on something, like a squirrel chews on something. Yeah. Until there's no giant ape left. Can you imagine if there were giant porcupines in the past? Maybe Godzilla was real and the giant porcupines ate all the bones and we didn't find them. See, this is why I want science to be right. So when I ask these questions, instead of going, ho, 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 little mortal, I'm going to make up a story that sounds good. I'm going to promote a narrative. Instead of that, they say here's a picture of what it was. Here it is. Here's what that looked like. Here's what the dinosaur looked like if we allow for its assembly by including the cartilage. Oh, it's a lot different now, isn't Yeah, holds his legs different. Holds his arm, he's different. Even the head is hinged different. Once you include the cartilaginous elements, which are the flexible ones, it changes the look of a skeleton. It's why many things that are called hominids, or used to be called hominids, human-like, are really apes that they reassembled the bones a little bit to make them look more human-like. When they put them in the museums. Why? Because, look, we discovered another species of old ape. Gives you X amount of money in checks by your donators, see, your contributors. But if you say, we discovered a new human ancestor, bang, they're writing checks and they're throwing it in, and that's what that's all about. If you don't know humans, you don't know that almost everything's a con game. The only thing that isn't a con game in all of humanity is your old pal Eshkalar. Because I'm already rich, and I'm already a wizard, and I've done everything. So I don't need to get over on the rubes. I would rather educate you, uplift you, bring you to my level, so we can all be stoned together and talk about 60s trivia. What do you think? Huh? You in? I'm in. This is Eshkalar, the world's greatest Canadian wizard, explaining why porcupines ate the world's largest apes.